Yo, what up, fam? It's Phantom, and in this video, we rank every Pokemon game that has ever been released into a tier list. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button, and if you guys get through the whole video and you enjoy it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a bunch. Let's hop in. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's jump into the tier list. Let's pull this up, guys. I'm excited to do this. Every single Pokemon game that has ever released, we are going to rank them from the best to amazing, all the way to never played. But the worst. So here's the rankings, guys. All right, so there's the best, amazing, great, good, average, poor, bad, really bad, awful, never played, and there's gonna be a lot on the never played list. I've played a ton of Pokemon games. Oh, this is awkward, my webcam's not on. We'll go from here. All right, so we're gonna start and go through all of these in no particular order. These kind of seem to be random, but every single Pokemon game that has ever released is on here. You guys let me know what you think as I rank. Let's just get some of the ones that I've never played out of the way. I don't even know what this is. Pokemon Ranger. I've never played the Pokemon Ranger games, which I'm really sad. I might actually play those on stream. Would you guys want to watch me play the Pokemon Ranger games? I think that would be kind of fun. So let's just get started. Pokemon Battle Revolution. So all this game, all it really was like Pokemon Stadium without all the mini games. So it really wasn't that great. It was just like a battle simulator, and I never really played it that much. I think I rented it a couple times. I'm going to put it as poor. It wasn't a bad game in and of itself, but it just wasn't great. Pokemon Channels. So fun fact, I have a story about this game. When this game, I saw this game at Target. And so I used to get, around Christmas time, I would go to one side of my family's Christmas early, and I would use the money that I would get from that to buy presents for all my other family members, right? That's just kind of what I would do because that was the only way I made money back then when I was a kid. But I remember, I still feel guilty about this. I was a kid. I was probably like 10 years old, 12 years old. I don't know when this, but I saw Pokemon Channel in the aisle on the GameCube, and I was like, okay, I have money to give to my family that I'm supposed to use for gifts, and I didn't. And my mom, I told him, I really want this game, but I don't want to. I want to make sure to give you guys gifts. And my mom's like, we don't need gifts, just get the game. I feel so guilty, and it's such a shitty game. It's fucking terrible. It's such a bad game. I won't put it as awful because it wasn't the worst. It was somewhat. No, it was awful. It was awful. We're putting that as the worst. Just from the guilt factor alone, it was the worst. Oh, I felt so bad. All right, Pokemon Coliseum. I have stories about a lot of these games, so I'm going to try not go too much into the detail because we're going to get back to Pokemon. But Pokemon Coliseum was such a good game. Love this game to death. The way I got this game, my mom actually bought it for me as a kid. I remember I had soccer practice, and I came home from school, and I was getting ready for soccer practice. My mom said, hey, get the oven ready. I'm going to cook dinner. You need to go preheat the oven for me. And so I did. And on the oven, which seems a little dangerous, but it wasn't on. But on the oven was Pokemon Coliseum, and I was just so excited. She had bought me it, and it was super good. Game's amazing. Probably one of my all-time favorite Pokemon games. I'm going to put it as Pokemon Coliseum is amazing. It wasn't the best. It could have added some more, but it was really good. Pokemon Crystal. I actually lost this game at a Chi-Chi's. I left it at a Chi-Chi's, which I'm really sad at. It's one of the best Pokemon games to ever release. I'm going to put it as great, only because when I first got it, this was back when I didn't understand how the Pokemon formula worked. You know how it was red, blue, then yellow was just a remake. It was gold, silver, crystal. All of our friends were like, oh, what's Crystal going to have in it? I bet you're going to start with the dogs, like the Entei, Suicune, and Raikou as your starters. And there was all these great, amazing things that we were going to think that are going to be in this game. It was going to print money for you. It was going to be so good. And then when it came out, it was just a remake of Gold and Silver, which I was a little disappointed about, but it was still really good. Pokemon Dash, I played this way later. This is one of the launch games, I think, for the Nintendo DS, and it wasn't that good. But it was mildly entertaining. I'm going to put it as poor. It wasn't terrible. I bought this used way after the fact, but I'm going to put it as poor. Diamond and Pearl. This game was really good. I remember I bought it on launch, and it came with a stylus, a really massive stylus. I got the Dialga one because I obviously got Diamond. It was a pre-order bonus at GameStop. I would say Diamond and Pearl are great games. They're not amazing. They're not terrible. I'm almost tempted to put it as good, but I'll keep them in great for now. Pokemon Emerald. Again, one of the times when I came home, we went to a Pacers game, me and my dad, and my mom had bought me this game and the strategy guide, which if you know me, I love strategy guides. She bought me the game and the strategy guide. It was sitting there on my bed when I got home. I played it. It was like 10 o'clock when we got home, and I had to get up for school the next day, but I literally played like all night. It was awesome. Such a good game. My mom was so clutch. You'll know throughout this whole time, I'll be talking a lot about my mom. She bought me a lot of these games because I was young. Obviously, I couldn't buy them myself, but Emerald was so good. Tier list Pog, yes. Yes, Russ, we're ranking. I think Emerald's probably one of the best Pokemon games ever released. Fire Red and Leaf Green, it's the best. Look, I'm a Gen 1er. I played Gold, Silver, or Gold, Silver. I played Yellow, was my very first game. Fire Red and Leaf Green were everything a remake should be, and then some. You got the wireless adapter that came with them. They were so good. I played the ever-living crap out of Fire Red and Leaf Green. I need to go through a playthrough of Fire Red recently. It's been too long. But Fire Red and Leaf Green, in my opinion, that is how to do a remake of a video game. Such good games, and they still hold up today. Pokemon Black and White should be put in the highest tier for the soundtrack alone. Ooh, we'll see. We'll see. Gold and Silver. When Gold came out, I actually got my Gold version stolen. I got our house got robbed. He stole everything. He stole all of my video games, and one of them was Pokemon Gold. And I remember the day that it got stolen, I was so excited to go home and play Pokemon Gold because I didn't know how to get past the Sudowoodo. And there's this guy on our bus. I remember walking to the back of the bus. This guy was the Pokemon master. He knew everything about Pokemon. And I couldn't figure out how to get past this. And everyone's like, dude, just go into the back of the bus. This man knows everything. He'll know your answer. But you have to pay him in Pop-Tarts. I don't remember what I had to pay him in. But I remember I had to pay him in some kind of snack or something. So I paid him this snack and I said, how do I get past the Sudowoodo? He said, let me tell you, it's simple. He's like, have you beaten the gym yet? In Goldenrod. And I said, yes, I've beaten the gym, but I can't get past this stupid fake tree shit. Then let me tell you, go next door to the gym. Get the Whalmer pail. Was it the Whalmer pail? Was Whalmer even Gen 2? Some sort of pail. Get the watering pail and go water the Sudowoodo. You'll fight it and it'll be great. I go home that day to finally get past this Sudowoodo, and this piece of shit who robbed our house stole Pokemon Gold. Never beat it until much, much later in my life. Amazing games. One of the greatest games of all time. Gold and Silver. Imagine the robber just getting so excited seeing your Pokemon Gold. That motherfucker. And I bet he got past Sudowoodo too, that little bastard. Illegal game tips behind the playground. Oh, I know. It was some next level shit. That dude knew his stuff. Pokemon Go! All right, let me tell you. Pokemon Go came out. We all know that. We all remember that time when it came out. My God, it hit the world like a storm. And this is the first time I was like, finally! Finally, people understand how amazing Pokemon is. I'm so excited. Everyone wants to be a Pokemon trainer now. Everyone was excited about it. It didn't matter who you were. Everyone was playing Pokemon Go. Unless you were my wife, who didn't play Pokemon Go. I don't know if she heard me. That's surprising if she couldn't hear me. But yes, she didn't play Pokemon Go, but everybody else did. It was the end all be all. The game has had its up and downs, but overall, I think it's a pretty great game. So I'm gonna put it as great. Hey you, Pikachu. If you guys have ever played this game, let me tell you how much Pikachu doesn't give a flying fuck about you. Pikachu does not care about you at all because that mic does not work for shit. That mic was so bad. I got this game as a very young kid, and I loved it, or I wanted to love it, and it was just so bad. It didn't work at all. This was probably, it's a really bad game. I'm with Elise, screw Pokemon Go. You bastard. HeartGold, SoulSilver. This is, again, how to remake a Pokemon game. There's a story, of course, with this. I have a story with everything. HeartGold SoulSilver was amazing because it came with a Pokewalker, right? And me and Mega Punch, if you've seen him on the server, or Devin, as I know him, best friends since I was a kid, we took our Pokewalkers, and it came with a little clip. And here, I've got mine right here. I've actually still have my Pokewalker. This is my original Pokewalker that came with the game. I just need to replace the battery. It doesn't work right now. But we would put it, this little thing, we'd put it in our socks. We'd wear tube socks, right? And pants to school. And we would put this in our sock, and we would just be, I mean, here's our leg in school. Our leg would be just going to town. I mean, this is me in the middle of German class. Me and him going to town on our fucking Pokemon Go, or our Pokemon Pokewalker. Training up our Pokemon. I think I had a Magmar in mind for the longest time. And let me tell you, it was awesome. We at one point brought it out in the middle of German class because our German class teacher didn't give a fuck about what we did. We brought it out in German class, and I remember we were passing it around to everybody. Everyone's like, what the hell is this? I was like, dude, it's a Pokewalker. It's fucking amazing. You gotta try it. And they would see the little counter on it, and they'd be like, oh, I got this. And then everyone was in there fucking going to town, shaking the shit out of our Pokewalker, trying to get us some steps. Oh, those are the days. So yes, HeartGold, SoulSilver, that's how you remake a game. It's one of the best, if not the best, great games, Pokemon games of all time. Let's go, Pikachu. I don't know how you can rank Pogo and Diamond Pearl in the same place. Diamond and Pearl are so fucking overrated, it's disgusting. They're good games, but they're not as good as same with Black. We'll get to it. I've had my says. Bro, this stream is gonna make a fire YouTube vid. Anyway, let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee. Let me tell you, these games are some of the most underrated Pokemon games of all time. I'm going to trigger a lot of people. Trigger warning right here. Trigger warning right here, right now. These games are extremely underrated. Let me tell you why. These games brought back the emphasis of catching all the Pokemon. I have a video on it if you want to go over it. I have a video on my YouTube channel. It's one of my earlier videos. Let me tell you, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are so disgustingly underrated. They put an emphasis on catching Pokemon, and it's the first Pokemon game that I've actually wanted to catch all the Pokemon and focused on that because it was the whole point of the game. I loved it. But yes, one of the great games. Let me tell you, I'm not going to put it as amazing, but it's a great game. It's a great game. Let's Go Pikachu, in my opinion, is just as good as Diamond and Pearl. I stick by that. Magikarp Jump, trash game. Fucking trash game. It's a mobile game. It was shit. It was shit. Shit game. All I can say. I was excited to play it. It's a shit game. Tamagotchi. This was like a Pokemon Go, Pokemon Tamagotchi. I never really played much of this. I should probably put it in never played. Actually, I'm going to. I've played it before, but it's been, I don't even remember what it's like. It was so long ago. I hate the catching mechanics. I love the catching mechanics in that game. I literally hope they make a Let's Go Johto. I want a Let's Go Johto more than I want the Diamond and Pearl remakes. 100%. I'm not trolling with that. I'm not trolling. I want a Let's Go Johto more than I want the Diamond and Pearl remake. I hope they remake the Let's Go's into a series. I hope they keep that as series going. It's such an underrated game. Plus the fact that you can't disable the bloody XP all. I mean, the XP in that game was just so different. The way the mechanics worked. Everyone was like, it's a mainstream game. It's not a mainstream game. It's a shoot-off. It's a shoot-off. And if you don't treat it as a mainstream game, it wouldn't be so bad. I think that if Sword and Shield would have came out before Pokemon Let's Go, it wouldn't have gotten such a bad rap. I think it just got a bad rap because it was the first one out on the Switch. I loved them. I thought they were great. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Good games. Again, I think they're overrated. I think these are overrated. I definitely wouldn't put them in the same vein as Emerald. Emerald was a better remake, obviously. These games, they had a lot of in-game content. It almost makes you want to put them as a great game only because the in-game content itself. But I would say they're good. The scaling in the game was just trash. I mean, you could literally play this game blindfolded and with no hands and you'd beat the game. It was way too easy. That was my only really big gripe with it. Pokemon Pinball. I never played the Ruby Sapphire as much as I played the original, but this is really good. I had a buddy that let me borrow it. I would say it's a really solid game. I like the Pokemon. I would love to play a remake of the Pokemon Pinball games. I really would. I hope they eventually make a remake. I would love a Pokemon Pinball game with all the Pokemon in it right now. Oh my God, I would play the hell out of it. I would play the hell out of a pinball game with all of them. The original Pinball, I'll put it as good as well. The remake probably made it better in every way, but I played more of the Game Boy Color game. It was really, really good. I played the hell out of that game. I really like collectible games. And the way they made pinball into a collectible game was really, really cool. I think that's why Pokemon can make a genre of anything. I honestly thought of this the other day. What if you made a Pokemon Endless Runner, like something like Subway Surfers or like Jetpack Joyride, all these like Endless Runner games? If you made them into a Pokemon game with an Endless Runner, oh my God, I would play the hell out of it. Pokemon Rumble Rush. I told you guys, this is my very first YouTube video on this channel.
All right, we were just gonna hop straight into it. What's up, guys? I am getting into a new video series where I'm going to be playing Pokemon Rumble.
If you guys go all the way back, this is my very first game. This is the very first video that popped off. I think it's up to like a couple thousand views. Was a guide for this game, and then also I made a shutdown video when this game eventually got shut down. It's a terrible game. This game, let me tell you, is my thing frozen? Let me tell you, I'll go on my rant with Pokemon Rumble Rush. It's a bad game. It would have been such a better game if they let you get shiny Pokemon. The game would have been a billion times better if you got the shiny hunt in that game, but you couldn't. Rush, I would say it's bad. It would be average. It would be an average game if all they did was add, if all they did, the only change they would need to do is add shiny Pokemon, it would have been an average game. All right, Explorers of Sky. This is a great game. That's a great game. Explorers, almost amazing. I'm actually going to put it as amazing. I still never got around to beating it, but the Mystery Dungeon games are super underrated as well. They remade the original one on the Switch. I still need to go around to playing it because I loved the Mystery Dungeon games. I think they're very good games. These were the originals. I would put them as great. The remakes, so this was Explorers of Sky was just basically the this one remade. And that's why I would say it was better in every way. There's no reason to play these games when you have Sky. I think I have this somewhere. But they're both very good games. Mystery Dungeon. This was for the 3DS. It was trash. I'll put it as average because at least it wasn't as bad as the one. I'm going to rank it right now because we're talking about it. Where's it at? Here it is. Here it is. This game for the 3DS that came out. This one was awful. They changed everything that made the mystery game, dungeon games, and they made it terrible. The thing that I like is going and catching Pokemon, and when you defeat it, you have a chance of getting it. In this game, you just got it. There was this link system to where you can get all these Pokemon. You get some amazing Pokemon right at the beginning of the game. It was terrible. I hated what they did with the game when they released this. It got rated high by some people. That mechanic, that one mechanic that they changed, when I saw it, I bought the game full price. Full price. Downloaded it on launch day. When I saw the link system, I uninstalled it on my 3DS. Never played it since. Terrible system. Awful. If there's a ranking, if you could make this game worse than awful, I would. Worst game to ever release on the Pokemon game. Worst Pokemon game to ever release, in my opinion, because they ruined my favorite series by doing that. They haven't made, other than the remake that they did of the originals, they haven't remade a game since because of how terrible that was. I was so mad. I was so mad. Okay, so this is the original Mystery Dungeon games that came out. One came out on the Game Boy Advance, one came out on the DS. I got the DS one when it came out. It was really good. I'll put that as good because it was really good. I really did enjoy it. I was almost tempted to put it as great, but I think the sequel was better, and then the remake of the sequel was the best. So I'll put them as that. Pokken Tournament, I haven't played a ton. I'll put that as average. I really have only played this a couple times. I'm not a big fighting game person, so I just don't care for fighting games. But for a Pokemon fighting game, it was pretty cool. The Puzzle League. I played this one. This was on the Game Boy Color. I really, really liked this one. I would put it as a good game. It was a really good game. I really enjoyed it. I played it a lot. It's another collectible game. They turned a puzzle game into a collectible game. And I think the way that Pokemon does that with a lot of the games that they made, especially early on, was super innovative and really, really cool. And I think that not enough games did it after that. If you never finished Explorers of Sky, the story actually had an insane twist ending. Definitely worth a replay. I need to. People always talk about the ending and I never got to it. I really want to. I need to. I feel like I've done it a disservice by not doing it. Puzzle League game for the 64. The way that the collectible game worked on the Game Boy Color and the way it worked on pinball and other stuff, they didn't do this for the 64 game, which I didn't like. And also, fun fact, I always thought this game was bugged. My music and my audio never worked for this game. And I realized just because in the options, the sound was turned all the way down. And I never knew there was options for the longest time. So I always played this game silent for like years. Years I played this game silent. And then I realized the setting was just changed. And I was like, oh, there's sound in this game? It works? But it just wasn't that great of a game. They didn't do a very good job with it. So I'm going to put it as poor. Pokemon Quest. It was a mobile game that you have to wait. I don't like waiting mechanics in Pokemon games or in mobile games. I hate waiting mechanics. And I'm going to put it as really bad just for the waiting mechanics alone. I hate waiting mechanics. Rumble Rush didn't have those waiting mechanics. But Quest did. I never played it enough because of that one mechanic. I just don't like that. I'm a kind of guy that one bad mechanic in a game will make me completely run away from it. As you can see with my Mystery Dungeon ranking and my Quest ranking. One bad ranking one bad mechanic in a game can just ruin it for me. Red and Blue. These were the OGs. Look, they just don't hold up today. They really don't, but they're the OGs. I'll put it as average. They're still, I would still play through them and I can get through them, but yeah, I never played the green or red. Ruby and Sapphire. I've got a story about this like I always do. Sapphire was the first one I got. And when I came home, I remember coming home and my sister came and met me at the door when I got off the bus in 4th grade. And she said, hey, we went to go get you Sapphire, but they were all out at Kmart, of all places, Kmart. And she's like, but they gave you this medallion. And there was this like coin that had a Kyogre. And it was like a holographic coin. And it was actually pretty cool. And I was like, okay, I'll get it eventually. This is a cool coin. I wasn't sad. And they're like, no, my sister was like, no, I'm just kidding. Here's Sapphire. And it was sitting there and oh my God. I remember we went to Kmart after that for whatever reason. We went to Kmart right after that and I went with my mom and I played it. I was walking through Kmart playing Pokemon Sapphire. Oh my God. I started with Trico. Trico's my boy. We're going to put that as great. Great games. The Mystery Dungeon judgment on the mechanics is extremely agreed with. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Not enough people understand my plight in that regard. It was so bad. I don't know why they did it. All right, Pokemon Rumble Blast. Was this the one that was? I didn't play it much. I think it was. There was once. I think this was the one for the 3DS, if I'm remembering right, and it wasn't that great. It was pretty bad. Pokemon Rumble. What is this one? World. No, this was the one on the 3DS. This one I don't think I played. This was the no. This is okay. Sorry. This was the free-to-play game that came out on the 3DS. And this was the paid game that came out on the 3DS. This one wasn't bad. This one was really bad. The free-to-play game, it was pretty bad. I didn't play it enough, but it had waiting mechanics as well. Hated it. Pokemon Rumble, this is the original. This is still played to this day because it's the only Pokemon Rumble game that ever had shiny hunting, and the reason why it still has longevity today. I would say it's a good game. I would put Rumble as a good game. Pokemon Shuffle, I haven't played a ton of, but I'll put it as bad. I maybe even average. No, we'll put it as poor. I played a little bit. I thought it was dumb. Pokemon Snap. Okay, we're gonna go here. More controversy here from Phantom here. This game was not that great. And I don't think that the game was not that great because it wasn't a great game, but because I just didn't really care. I didn't really care for Pokemon Snap. I just didn't think it was a very fun game. I'm gonna put it as bad. I would say, if this is a ranking of my personal opinion, if I'm ranking games as like objectively good or objectively bad, I would rank this higher, but for me, it was a bad game. I didn't like it. My sisters loved it. They played it a ton, but I couldn't care for it. I did the same when I saw the mechanics. I bought it on release day, downloaded it, and it just wasn't fun. Never played it since. Really sad. I had a huge hype for it. Same, Jeffrey. Same. They ruined my series. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series was completely ruined by this game alone. And fuck this game for the eternity of forever. Pokemon Stadium 2. Pokemon Stadium 2 and Pokemon Stadium 1, these games were saved purely off their mini games and their ability to play the Game Boy Color games on your TV. Let me tell you, back in the day, Pokemon wasn't played on the TV. There was no way to do it. The only way to do it was through these games, and they had the little game pack, which of course I had. It was so good. I would put Pokemon Stadium 2 as good and Pokemon Stadium 1 as average. Pokemon Stadium 2, the mini games were better in Pokemon Stadium 2, hands down. The Blissey mini game, let me tell you, I could get 100 on the Blissey mini game today, right now, every time. I don't miss. Let me tell you, we just pulled this shit out the other day. Me, Devin, and my sister were playing the Blissey mini game. I was fucking shit up. Get 100s every time. I don't miss. Sun and Moon. It started with X and Y, but Sun and Moon was where it really started to get really bad. Sun and Moon were the games that would not stop holding your hand the entire way through the game. Sun and Moon is a cutscene all the way through. You don't even play the game. It's just a cutscene. You don't get to play the game ever. I'm putting it as bad. This game is bad. It's just a bad game because you can't go back and replay Sun and Moon for me. Just do it. I can't imagine watching a speed run of this game because it's just all dialogue. The entire game is dialogue. It's so incredibly frustrating. And it's when the Pokemon Company started to make it more about dialogue and story and less about the actual game. And I hate the direction that they went with because of it. These were the start of where the game started to be really, really, really bad. And I think that to the point where I'm going to put it as really bad. I'm going to change my ranking. Sun and Moon were really bad. Tutorial Island, exactly. Yes, I hate how easy the games have become. The only reason why, let's go to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Where's Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? Okay, I'm gonna put these as bad only because they were a little more challenging. These games were actually a little bit more difficult. Sun and Moon, and it improved on Sun and Moon in every way, but it still had all the cutscenes. The fact that they remade the game and did 2 remakes too was what pissed me off and almost makes me put it down as awful because they just remade the games and they were acting like it was a Black 2, White 2 situation where it was like a sequel, but it wasn't. It was just a remake and a little bit of story change, but not that much. They didn't do a very good job with Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I was pretty upset with Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but it was better in Sun and Moon. But these are when the game started to really, really take. I mean, X and Y were kind of like when it was on the down slope, but then Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Sun and Moon just made it go on a free fall. That's when the Pokemon games just went on a free fall. Sword and Shield. So I'm gonna rank Sword and Shield. I wish it looks like they don't have it. Sword and Shield, I'm gonna rank with the DLCs. This is with the DLCs in mind. Let me go first and tell you, these are awful games without the DLCs. Without the DLCs, these are easily the worst Pokemon main series game. Easily. Also, why is Platinum in an awful? Platinum is not awful. That got misranked. Let me tell you, Sword and Shield is easily, without the DLCs, the worst main series Pokemon games to ever release. I did like the Ultra Space Hunts. Exactly. That's another reason why it goes up from really bad to bad in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Sword and Shield, without the DLCs, awful game. With the DLCs, no joke. I think they're actually good games. That's how good I think the DLCs were. The DLCs made this game. If you ask me, should I buy Sword and Shield? I'd be like, without the DLCs. If you say I have $60 and I could buy Sword and Shield, I'd be like, not a fucking chance. But if I say I have $90 and I can buy Sword and Shield with the DLC, buy it every time. Worth it hands down. So I'll put it as good. Only because of the DLC. Only because of the DLC. Pokemon trading card game. Let me tell you, I had this. The Pokemon trading card game on the Game Boy Color. It had a black Game Boy Color cartridge. It was very, very obvious. And I lost it. Still to this day, don't know where it went. But I loved this game and thought it was really, really good. And it's probably not, my nostalgia probably puts it higher. So I'm going to put it as average. I would put it as good, but I think my nostalgia made it a little better than it was. But I thought it was a pretty good game. I lost it, never got to play it. I played it on the 3DS. It was on the eShop, and I played it on that a little bit, but not a ton. So I never really had enough time. Pokemon Trading Card Online. I think the Pokemon Trading Card game, I never really bought Pokemon Trading Cards to actually battle with. And it's just, the mechanics of the TCG just aren't very fun. And TCGs in general, like, I just don't like TCGs. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad game, objectively, but I don't like it. I played it a little bit. I'll put it as bad. Pokemon Trowsy. I never really understood this game. And I'm almost tempted to put it in the never played, but I have played it. So I'm going to put it as bad, but I never really played it enough to really understand even what the point of it was. All right, we're getting into some of the main series games. Let me, XD Gale of Darkness, I'm going to put it never played. I have played it very briefly. Unfortunately, I never really got around to playing it in my life. I want to go back to play this game because it was such a good game. From what I understand, from what I've heard, it's a better Coliseum. So I really need to play it because I love Coliseum. Pokemon Yellow was my first game ever. This is the first game I ever played. I have so many memories with this. Let me tell you, I didn't know how to read very well when I first bought it, when I first got it. Maybe I did. I just skipped through all the dialogue. I never knew how to get past the guy with the coffee. So I remember just spending hours and hours and hours on Route 1. My memory is very fuzzy during this time, but I swear to God, I remember having a level 50 Pikachu in Route 1. Swear to God, I remember that. I'm probably remembering wrong. It's probably in like the 20s or 30s, but it was high. And it's just because I was grinding and I didn't know how to get, and I reset my game because I never knew how to get by. And then I remember resetting my game, getting all the way to the Safari Zone and not knowing how to get Surf to get to the next area. Didn't know it was in the Safari Zone. I remember having a level 100 Blastoise. Everyone was like, oh, you just level up your Blastoise, it'll eventually learn Surf. It never did. I leveled it all the way up to level 100. All the way up to level 100. I would grind that area with the bike area with the Doduos and Dodrios for hours and hours and hours. Never got it. Reset my game. Then eventually learned, oh shit, it was in the Safari Zone. I thought my game was broken. It's a good game. It's a good game. Remake, everything, it made everything what that was good about Red and Blue better. And it was my first game. So here we go. Black and White. I'm gonna offend a lot of people here. I don't know where to rank this. Let me get my bearings. Okay, Black and White. The reason why I wasn't a fan is this is when they changed the experience system in the game to where when you battle a Pokemon, you had it scaled so you couldn't. This is when Pokemon tried to control the experience too much. And I'm not saying literally the experience points, but the experience of the Pokemon game overall. Black and White was when it started to change the time, and Pokemon wanted to control how high level your Pokemon were, how low level your Pokemon were. They wanted to streamline the game, but I hated the change. They changed the XP system, and for that reason alone, I'm going to put it as a poor game. This is when Pokemon tried to control the experience more than I felt like they should. They made the games very like this. This is how the game was. They controlled the experience. It was a one lane, no option game. And this is when they started to change that. Black 2, White 2 improved upon the game in every way, but I still think they were poor games. I just don't think they're very good. Now I think that now that I've gotten used to the experience change, and now that I've accepted it for what it is, not a fan of it, but I've accepted it. Maybe put it a little higher, but for now I'm going to keep it as poor. I think they're poor games. That's when they changed. And the storyline, I'll put this to average, just for the storyline in general. The storyline is probably the best storyline in all the Pokemon games. I'll give them that. For the storyline, I'd put it as the best because it had the best storyline. But I don't play Pokemon games for storyline, so yeah. They're all so fucking expensive as hell. Check this out. Wait. Let me go to Amazon. Hey, you know what? I really want to buy Pokemon Black 2. Let's just do. No. Let's Pokemon Black. No. Pokemon Black 2. Pokemon Black 2. Let's see how much it is. I want to play the game. Let's play it. I want the actual official version. Okay. A used version. $229. Not new, not new. Used. Used. Very good. Used. Game card only. Tested and working in good condition. Not even the box for $229. Okay, fine. You might be saying, hey, that's the sequel. There wasn't that many. Fine. Let's just go Pokemon Black. Just the first Pokemon Black version, right? Pokemon Black. Here we go. The official Pokemon Black. $168. Tell me. Make it make sense to me, people. Make it make sense. Why is it so expensive? So even if I wanted to go back and try out these games, I can't. Phantom, get a ROM. Just download an emulator and play it on a web. I don't like playing Pokemon ROMs. I just don't. I want my Pokemon in my Game Boy, in my DS. It's how I like it, okay? Okay? I can't play it that way. Platinum. Okay, Platinum, it was better in Diamond Pearl in every way. It was pretty good. I would say it's great. I would say it's great. Pretty good remake. X and Y. This was the start. I know I talked about Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon was the continuation and made it worse. But X and Y is where it really started to hold your hand a little bit more. Black and White was the beginning. X and Y was like the in-between, and Sun and Moon was the full downfall. And it went from, Pokemon games started to go from like, play it how you want to play it how we designed it and exactly how we want you to play it. And that's just why I don't like it. But I do think they're pretty good games. I like the end game of X and Y. I'm surprised we never got a remake of X and Y, right? We never got a remake. We never got a Z, so I'm surprised by that. I'll put them as average games. All right, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There are my rankings. I'm gonna stand by this. I mean, I agree with all these. This is my ranking of the Pokemon games. I need to get around to playing all these, or at least most of these. But yes, here's my rankings of the best Pokemon games. Hope you guys enjoyed it.